Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, the broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. Best books with a Z, your reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at herbsmyaunt.com. My Aunt's Sons, Tea of Teas, divinely prepared. Also, be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. And for your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today. And without further ado, we introduce to you Sheik Kari Goodman Bay.
Peace, nobles, empresses, family, and friends. Peace, 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 peace. I hope everybody having a beautiful day today. I know everybody's schedule changed, so we adjusting with peace and love, man. But before we get started, can we please get our Moorish American prayer?
Islam.
Yep.
Allah.
Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation.
Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Aya Asha Aya, Shalom Alakim. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim. Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad. Islam, peace, 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 peace.
Peace,
Peace, peace, peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Noble Brian, we haven't done it in a while. So would you please just give how the BBT believe? I think it's very important, because here at the BBT, we don't want to get things misconstrued. We a safe place, as Noble Alonzo always say, and we are especial. We're here to give you things to compare to, and we do things in the right way. No matter if your brain is not programmed to thinking, like Malik said, some things have to happen. The heart have to be pure. Your mind have to be pure. You have to change how you think. You have to get your mind and your body in the mental shape to accept truth, and then use the truth, and not only use it, apply it. So could you please give us our how the BBT believed? And we're gonna jump right into the teaching, Noble Brian, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir, and my pleasure. So, scientific study will illuminate the student that Yahweh, our Elohim, God, the creator of the stellar and ecclesiastical universe, has stipulated in all Bibles, regardless of the translation, a pattern that he, Yahweh Elohim, gave Moses in Mount Sinai in the year 1490, BBY, erroneously referred to as BC. It is by a profound knowledge of the construction and operation of this divine pattern of the Mosaic tabernacle in relationship to every created object in the universe, whether visible or invisible, that will reveal the answer to every question concerning Yahweh Elohim and Yahshua the Messiah as he really is, and his eternal purpose and plan. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School is not a church, but a school of research founded with the idea in mind to delve into every branch of science according to the pattern of the tabernacle, man made in the image of God, Allah, which is an acronym standing for arm, leg, arm, head in more science. To find the answer to every question that has plagued the student from the foundation of the world, thus proving the unerring accuracy and infallibility of the Bible. In research and study, we always use the true Hebrew names of the unity, of the spirit of the so-called Godhead. Instead of the title God as the Father's name, we are using the correct Hebrew name, Yahweh. Instead of Jesus Christ as the Word or Son's name, we are using Elohim, which is the correct Hebrew title of the Father, Yahweh, in super and corporate form. For the Holy Spirit, which is Yahweh Elohim manifested in a physical body, we are using the correct Hebrew name, Yahshua, the Messiah. These holy names may seem to be of private interpretation, which we, the Burning Bush Tabernacle, have invented, but through research and study with a good encyclopedia or a dictionary, anyone can discover for themselves of this great era. There was no letter J in any language until the Middle Ages. Neither was there ever a letter equivalent to the J in the Hebrew language. Therefore, such names as Jesus or Jehovah are impossible renderings of the true name of the Father and the Son. Here at the BBT, our aims are as follows. 1, to illuminate the student to find and know Yahweh, our Elohim, as he really is and exists. 2, to form a nucleus of universal brotherhood of humanity in Yahshua, the Messiah, without distinction of race or nationality, creed, sex, caste, or color. 3, to investigate the unexplained spirit law or so-called law of nature and the powers latent in man. 4, to encourage and promote the study of the scriptures, comparative religions, psychology, philosophy, and modern practical and occult sciences. 5, to remove spookism, superstition, and skepticism and ignorance. 6, to learn, know, and understand the operation of Yahweh's eternal purpose through the dispensations and ages. Aim 7, to discern and avoid being deceived by Lucifer, the serpent, the devil, the dragon, or Satan and his demons, operating the mystery of iniquity on earth through the dispensations of time. 8, to earnestly contend for the common salvation and faith which was once delivered to the sons or children of Yahweh. Aim 9, to make known that Yahweh from the beginning ordained there is no other name given among men whereby man can be saved, saving the name Yahshua, the Messiah. And aim 10, last but not least, to inherit eternal life now in the kingdom of Yahshua, the Messiah, with the hope of immortal glorification in the new earth state. And with that, I say Islam, amen, and peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love to all my brothers and to everyone out here in the world and to the internet world, YouTube, Instagram, wherever y'all at, Facebook. Here at the BBT, we like to take steps. I like to call them schoolmasters. So if anybody ever heard of the state booklet, I don't know if anybody ever heard of it, but we're not going to go too far in it. If anyone interested in it, our information is there. Every time we do speakings, our information is there. So anything we talk about, even when we have book club, Sunday school, anything is available with us. So it's no excuse for any grown people to be out here doing sovereign citizen things, doing criminal behavior. You cannot mix that with more science. People have to start telling the truth where they're getting these things from. And brothers and sisters that have good maps and guides like we do here, we have to stand strong in it. And it's not more science. It's sovereign citizen criminal stuff. That's malicious stuff. And we're not talking about individuals because we're talking about it specific now. Because when we talk about guidelines and rules and declaration and proclamation, that means those are guidelines and rules how we should be if we say we in the Moorish movement. Am I right about it?
Yes, sir.
No arbitrary explaining of things. So when things are done wrong, I'll give you an analogy. And there's no disrespect to no one. I'm just going to start being very, very specific. And then wherever it catches, that's where it catches. You can't take, for anyone that's out here doing these things that's premature. This is an old Jedi trick, and y'all still falling for it. When you take, how can I say, a lower level science and try to mix it up, not knowing, you at default. And I'm gonna leave that just right there. When brothers take lower level science and try to mix it, their own thing, and be out on an island, that's on you. Listen, man, a lot of people got this more science so mixed up, Alonzo, where they done messed their lives up, and they playing pretend court, you know.
Islam. Islam.
And I'm telling brothers, you're gonna get caught up, you know. It's a way to do things the right way, and that's all. I'm gonna leave that right there. But let's give a little introduction to the state booklet, and anybody can add or stop anything that y'all want to say, whatever. And and if time permits, we'll jump into a little bit of law governs all events, because I think a lot of brothers just want to do things their own way and make up
I
things
got
that
something to
should be.
say.
Yes, sir.
I got something to say.
Hmm.
Stop paying attention to all this stuff on social media. If ain't nobody ever showed you that these things work and what they doing, just ignore them and come to
It's
learn
like getting
something
in the game.
that you can actually
Speak. I
apply
know Malik is
the
speaking. It's like
knowledge.
getting at the game and just ignoring the rule book.
Yes.
Like you
I
just
mean,
gonna pick up
it's
the ball and just walk down the court. No, no, no. You got to dribble. There's things you just can't make up your own rules in this.
I've been sharing this for years, and somebody hit me up. He was yesterday. He was like, "Brother, I just can't imagine." He said, "You've been showing this for years. What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I'm not talking about nobody specific no more. I'm not entertaining it. I'm just going to give the rules. Just like if I'm an expert witness, a person can
Stop
take it
trying
the
to
way they
apply
want
your
to.
own stuff.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And we
Apply.
grown people.
Islam.
Everybody keep paying attention to these YouTube posts and look like people getting away with stuff, and that's the way they want you to make a thing. So when you do go to try this stuff without you knowing anything, you go to try exactly what they do, you get your head busted. And then you be like, the more stuff don't work. No, that's somebody out there improperly promulgating some stuff that they don't know, and you went in and tried to apply it prematurely. Start prematurely doing things.
So
Period. Get the knowledge
that
and everybody so you can apply the sciences.
right. That's just like what we always say, even in the 5% cipher. You're not gonna put the wisdom before the knowledge, because yeah, you might get to an understanding, but it'll be a misunderstanding. You know, you can't put the wisdom before the knowledge. That's like just said. That's like you trying to live something out that you don't know yet. You know, so that's problematic. And again,
Yeah,
another problematic part about it is if no one has introduced you to the science, as Sheik always say, a true mapping guide won't lead you into a burning house. So if somebody haven't introduced you to the science and you take it upon yourself to just do a Google search, man, you opening yourself up for the wolves. And it's like it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of some of our own folks leading us into a burning house, and they still have that stuff out there on the net. So if someone just sat down one night and said, "Man, I heard about Morris science. Let me Google what is Morris science." Depending on what you hit when you put that search in, you could be setting yourself up for failure. And that's why the BBT is here, and that's why Sheikh Kari always put it out there like, come to class. I'm a mapping a guide. We need somebody with a pure heart to lead and guide you through these things. So with that, I say Islam, and I should just say, come to class. Islam.
it's not. I mean, because brother, we you can't. There's no other way. And then when you see the lesson how it's laid out, you can say, "Well, you doing my own thing," and that's what people say. When I talk to brothers and their vernacular or their language is not on the level that it should be, when you defended something, I say the word that you're saying has what convicted you. Are you listening? Nope. And then the words that you say, I throw them right back, and they convict you because you don't know what you're saying. So We greet all Moors, and I greet all people with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, with high honors to the great God, Allah, the Father of the universe, and his holy and divine prophet, Noble Ali, and all the divine prophets. Holy and divine prophet Noble Ali. We wish to expound on how the Moorish Science Temple of America was declared a recognized free national government throughout the earth. Sometimes as Moorish Americans in this new era of time, they struggle on explaining who we are within such an ignorant and unconscious society, being based in the color of law and the concept of, some people say Christianity, I'm going to say of lack of understanding of it. Because when we start dealing with who we are, we're going to be dealing with biblical, this, all the holy books. So we correct things, but we understand things as well. But in reality, if we teach and do this great work as a government properly does, now circle when I say government, because that's a word that the uneducated or the unenlightened person say, government, wait. Nope. You got to see what this word means in its context before you go running with things, which the average brother do. So keep that in your head. Properly does, while running this ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. Then people of all levels will understand by our works and deeds and may be fulfilled, on this divine and national movement as well. The Holy Prophet Noble Ali, he stated, and I quote, "A beggar nation cannot attain to its highest spirituality. I will keep," this is what he said, the European, this is what they haven't read, the European here long enough to teach you how to run a government. So let's stop begging for what we should be working hard to retrieve, but retrieve it ourselves. We ain't saying overthrowing no government. They ain't saying none of those things that people make up, because the prophet is keeping, this is what they say, the European here, but understand when they say European, they're talking about a certain system. Understand what I'm saying. They're talking about a certain system, a way to govern, a way to organize, long enough to teach us how to run a government. So if they said, so if the teacher says going to leave the European here long enough to teach you how to run a government, Noble Alonzo, well then that's a schoolmaster. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
You see? So when people just be talking out the side of their neck, you got to run from it. This is what we should learn how to do. And so the pamphlet was written to break down and explain and for add in, if anybody feel that things need to be added in, the divine and national movement, to expound on what the mission was and should be, to uplift fallen humanity, It ain't to overthrow no government or nothing. It's to uplift fallen humanity. All nations have missions to fulfill, and we will appoint missionaries. A missionary fill a mission to make certain that those missions are taken care of. Now, what's the mission? I'm sure not what these brothers doing, not what they proclaiming. So we hope and we pray, whatever you want to say, many more take from this little pamphlet a precious value in understanding and knowledge of this free national government. Keep that in your head. Don't get that out of here. It's a she said free national government. We're going to break it down. We're going to break it down for the, how can I say, for the school, for the ones that need a schoolmaster. Being incorporated under the Heard Smith revised status of the state of Illinois as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. Just like how the Vatican State was incorporated under this particular act. Well, since 1929. And this pamphlet is a very basic concept of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This book is written to the best of my knowledge. And if it's wrong, then, hey, we can talk about it. That's why I share everything with people and say, no, we ain't gonna let no people just make things up because they older and they can just talk a whole bunch of semantics. Nah, we ain't rocking like that. We way wiser than that. If there are corrections that need to be made, then we're gonna do that in love. Y'all ready? Y'all still with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Definition of state. So we begin to explain the definition of a state. I hope all my brothers cleared the wax out their ears. A state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory, bound together by common law, habits, and customs into one body politic. So let's stop right there before I proceed. A state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory, bound together by common law. Common law is some things we should have in common. Habits. So if we don't agree on the common law, the thing with our bylaw, my declaration, the things that I'm telling you as a sheep, and not only just a sheep, but educated, anointed, and everything that you think you're talking about, then we can't be part of the state.
So what does that mean too? Because we are the what? What's the USA stand for? United States of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of states to create the Union of the USA.
Yeah.
People don't even
See?
get that, and they all got their own constitution. Hello,
Yeah.
somebody. Y'all better wake up. Good plan.
And so when we do this, and so look how the concept as a state, as what we do as this body. Watch this. Common law, habits, and customs into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government. Watch this though, independent sovereignty and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace and of entering into international relations with other countries of the globe. A political unity, correctly viewed, a state is a body politic possessing sovereignty. Any body politic possessing sovereignty is entitled to be called a state. They don't even catch that right there. You ain't even catch. That's why the term
They ain't catch that.
they can't, because they too gun ho. Because the spirit's not right. They too gun ho.
The state of mind of being free.
Yep.
The state of mind of being free.
Yeah,
And know how
and
to
this
apply
aspect,
knowledge.
yes, and this aspect of how we organize, they missing the whole globe of it because you taught wrong. When you taught wrong, you get wrong results. What are we talking about? Watch this. It's a good characteristic to describe the Moorish Science Temple of America, or the BBT. Why? Because the people described in this state will be described as the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, or the BBT. And by definition of state, the fixed territory for the state would be where you at: north, west, south, east, Mexico, Africa, whatever you want to call it. The common law habits would be focused toward the practices in Chapter 32 of the Herbert Smith Revised Status of the state of Illinois. Is we talking about how the city, if we talking about how the temple is set up. And that's like last night, Noble Alonzo, like we getting ready to have our meet and greet. I'm getting, I think one of the brothers coming from Detroit should be out here. Because he was like, man, I didn't know you was from Flint. He was like, man, we got some work to do. I said, man, he was like, I didn't know you've been doing this work for all these years. I said, man, I've been doing it for years, all different ministry, going to prisons, going to schools, going all on my own, from love. When I moved out here in Arizona, when I started my organization, when I used to donate to the what was that called, babe, that women's organization, the West Valley Health Summit, to all the women in shelters and kids in foster homes, out of my own pocket. I was going to them a celebration. They like, Burning Bush Tabernacle. I'll get up. They like, where they at? It was me. They like, this you? Yeah. So I do community stuff. My empress do community stuff. When I go back to Flint, shoot, everything go right, I'm gonna have 1,000 backpacks full. So when I be telling people about real work can be done if you organize. If you listen to someone that say, man, this is how we can do things, how you got to understand the religious laws. You have to understand this and work in your community and then take over your community. It's infrastructure, but nobody want to learn. We're giving our money away. Let's proceed. Let's proceed of how this is set up. But it's all temples are set up through that revised status of the state of Illinois. So by definition of state, the charter, who would have independent sovereignty in our state, is the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See, I told y'all when people be using this wrong science and they be thinking this masonry stuff and they be getting that from that Duncan's, no disrespect, low level snowman masonry, you coming with the wrong science because you think you some widow's son. You see how we done messed them up already, Alonzo? And the European will tell you that they're son of a Muslim. You're using the wrong science. I've been trying to tell brothers, but our Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the true sovereign. Moorish Science Temple of America is a sovereign body. We are not sovereigns. Like I be telling people, you can't be a sovereign and citizen because a sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. These brothers is using snowman wisdom. What in meteorology, that's when water freeze. But they're not learning. I'll be laughing. I'll be like, man, you're using the wrong tools. But members of a sovereign body politic and corporate, in comparison with the term state, let's now define the
Say
term
that
body
again.
politic.
You said they didn't miss it. You said incorporate. What does
Yeah,
that mean? You got to incorporate. So if you have to incorporate, that means you never had corporate debt. Ding, 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 goofy.
they be
If you
missing
have
a
to
whole
incorporate,
thing.
you ain't even incorporated to use corporate debt to cancel corporate debt. Hello?
Malik, that's
Hello?
why I was saying it's gonna be wrong at default. That's why I was like contempt of court. Like you come in here unequipped. You know, it's no excuse of not knowing the law in the court of law. I can make an example out of you because you in here playing. Let's proceed. The body politic is defined as a social compact by which the whole people covenant with each citizen and each
Ooh, you said
citizen
social
with the
compact?
whole people. You say what?
You said social compact, right?
Yeah,
So that means we gotta socialize and communicate to come under an understanding, right?
yes, sir.
Not do it on your own. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I'm sorry. Please
Yeah,
continue.
How,
yes,
how
sir.
could you? How could look? How could you benefit from the bonds of society, except that you said that you in society? No other way.
We already told people you can't arbitrarily explain the law, but they think they can, Alonzo. Well, I just want to believe like that. Okay, well, go ahead.
Sad.
And somebody said and I'm on my personal page and see this, somebody named the same name as me, Kareem Griffin. I'm on my personal YouTube page, and he's saying we got to buy up some land. We already own land. This is what I be telling people when they come around, when they come in. We can show people how to do things. We've been doing this for a long time. That's what I show people. We can do this for a long time, just like any other religious body. Just like it's there. We know where the land at. It have to
We
be
did that within
out.
our first year.
Yeah, we did that in our first year. We could get 40 acres right now. And that's like, we have 10 right now. And like I said, people, I know how to get things. If we come together, it can be done. We can't buy it all. We're not rich. That's why I'm telling people when a person have a plan, we can be just like anybody else. How? We donate to an organization that's taxes in for the federal government. Instead of giving our money to Uncle Sam, we can build something and hold something
We worked it
accountable.
together.
Right.
Yeah,
We
we don't
worked
have
it
to talk about
together.
what nobody else doing. Like, oh, this person collect this money and didn't build the school. We ain't talking about that. We know how to do things the right way. We ain't taking nobody from nothing. We know how to build infrastructure. Our hearts are pure. Y'all dealing with a divine minister. This stuff has been done. My background is in community development. My whole thing. Y'all already know this. So it's some things to be done if we got the right people to work. It's one body in many parts. It's a lot of people that have these skills, but you got to have the right people. You got to have the right people speaking the right way. It's plenty of people that defrauded the people. I don't want to get off hand, but look at the reason why a lot of trust not there. A lot of times, Malik said, because look how the fraud that's been in our community. But it ain't happened. I've been doing this for years, and we use our own money. I ain't collecting no money and told nobody we got no 400 acres, and then do a whole fake ribbon cutting with some ribbon and buy some tool sheds from Home Depot and say we got 400 acres. I ain't never did no stuff like that. I ain't never got on the internet acting like I got some fake master degree, me and the singer Tank, and said I got a dual master degree in Christianity and business, but I do got a real degree in that. That's how it's appalling to me. You know what I mean? When we've been defrauded by our own people and we continue to let that go. And when the real ones do it, we should give it a chance. Let's proceed. Body politic is defined as a social compact by which the whole people, I hate to stop. Let me read this one more time, y'all. It says, I'm having a hard time making my family tree because of some people not passing down knowledge. Well, that's why today, watch how I transfer this energy, Kareem Griffin. Watch how I transfer this energy. You build your own family. The knowledge can be passed down once you know who you are. Once you know who your family is, you have both sides of the family. You can trace your family. Wisdom is there. It's just like anything else in life that we seek. Well, we want a woman, we seek it hard. We want this, we want some rims on our car. We want anything, and I'm just using it as an analogy. We want this, we want to go on these trips. What would we do? We seek it out, we prepare it. So I just transfer the energy. And when that energy is transferred, when the spirit is right, you're going to get everything you're looking for. Why? Because the spirit, that's what the spirit does. That's how it rocks. That's how it goes, baby. But let's proceed. But we covenant with each citizen, and the citizen with the whole people, that shall be governed by certain laws for the common good. Also, a term applied to a municipal. You hear that? All terms apply to a municipal, a corporation, a school district, a county, a city, a state, or a public association. Did y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
It ain't say nothing about leaving and going nowhere.
Not, I ain't catch that yet a lot.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody. Let's go. Let's go. And we're looking at the term government. We can see that this term has a connection with the term what? State, body, body politic, and body corporate. And we can understand the similarities, you know, of these particular terms. So government derives from a Latin term, gubernaculum, Gubernaculum, which is defined as the system of polity in a state, that form of fundamental rules and principles by which a nation or state is governed. Now let's start right there. Nation don't have nothing to do with no money. Any nigga will come on the nation, we got to have it like, man, we got to sit them clowns down again. That's them Bitcoin Negroes. That's them Forex. That's them Negroes. When you tell them to open a portfolio, that boy be Fuji dust. They can be mad at me. I done been around. I know about all the Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes. When I start speaking the language, they won't come around because they know I know. They know I know. My wife right here. My wife know I know. My empress right here. She know I know. When them niggas come around, I used to make them tuck their tail around. I know them all. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I'm telling you, I done seen them all that stuff. I don't say nothing about it. I just speak in general. And they be like, who you? All of them. They ain't gonna come over here with it. Because I know the scam. A lot of just that's that influencer stuff. All my nobles got the book. Read the book. You'd be like, damn, she. Of course, I get y'all got it. And then you did. All you got to do is just use it back on them. They'll run away. It's almost like if you playing chess or this person cheating and you run away, but you love playing chess. You come learn from a master and go and whoop the cheater butt. The cheater can't do nothing but cheat. But you a master. You're gonna whoop it with one hand. Let's proceed. But gubernaculum, which is defined as the system of polity in a state, that form of fundamental rules and principles by which a nation or state is governed. So polity is the form of a government, whether theocracy, federal, anarchy, etc., and so on. There are many forms of governments, but this particular form of government that the Moorish Science Temple of America is known and the BBT is known, I bet you they don't even know. They'll say, oh, I know, see, and then you're done. It's theocracy. Theocracy. A theocracy is defined as a government of a state by the immediate direction of God or by the assumption direction of a, superstitious divinity, or the state thus governed. Therefore, as members of this body politic, we recognize the creator God, Allah, alone guides this divine and national movement. You heard what I said, divine and national movement. Divine and national movement. A theocratic entity differs from the form of a secular entity. See, these Negroes in a secular entity, and y'all don't even know it. I told you, only thing they can make you is a Freemason. We stepping on ahead,
Divine
but they ain't getting
first.
it.
Divine
Come on, man.
Come on.
They don't even know it. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, is a divine and national movement that has divine laws and holy laws that each member are to uphold and preserve. And if they are to earn the name of faithful, as afforded by Act 7 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and Bylaws, like Alonzo said, you say you got all this and all this, and you say you teaching more science, which clearly you can't. Well, they're just going to use what you say you under against you and say, clearly, that ain't what you teaching. Clearly. And you're going to be judged in the same parameters as the other ones. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, clearly, I hope nobody can say, well, that don't make this should be too simple. State. The Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing affidavit of organization, document 1010-5905. Remember I showed y'all the document from the CCRD? I did a whole lecture of that the other day. Go back and look at it. The letter from the CCRD is the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds office. You can get it with the original seal for $10. But I got all of them. I share with everybody. Anybody can get it. And it was from 2016. Somebody want to say something?
No, I would say just the custodian. Just the custodian.
Yep. And we cleared that up. And we cleared that up a long time ago. And that letter was in 2016. They have no legal, no legal angle, nothing, all nothing. And they was responded to. And this was in 2016. So nobody can be mad. We have to clear this stuff up. No matter if nobody got a title in front of their name, sheet this, sheet that. When you ask a person specifics pertaining to the laws that's govern what you're doing, because we're not playing Monopoly, this is real life. You've been proven like what you're saying has no basis. We're not in playland. And that's what I've been telling brother. I said, this is not playland. But the Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing the affidavit of organization, document 1010-5905, form 1099, recorded in the Recorder of Deeds office in the County Clerk, State of Illinois, on August 1st, 1928 AD, at 2:52 p.m. You know, through this affidavit. You heard what I said? Through this affidavit, because that's all it is. It's an affidavit. You keep sticking a fork in them. If you're making it something else, you lost. Your science is totally off, but you still going with the lie. That's like, it's insanity. The Prophet Noble Ali gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under the revised status of the state Illinois, chapter 36, section 36. That's what happened, you know? So July 20 of 1928 was on the third day in the beginning of a new moon. You know, they always want to talk about the new moon. During the sign of Virgo, August 1st, 1928 was the day of a full moon. August 1st, 1928 was the day. It was no coincidence that July 20th, 1928, that was my brother's cellar return. That's past. Akil Jelani Goodman Bay. Peace to my baby brother.
Peace.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, my empress birthday the 20th. See, my head all over the place. But the Holy Prophet held a meeting and they had an affidavit. David notarized and recorded the affidavit on July 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m. So the Hearst Smith Revised Status, Chapter 32, and Act Concerning Corporations, Section 36, Religious Corporation Act, it played a huge origin on the establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's how I established the BBT as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. So how can any subordinate temple that they say to the Moorish Science Temple, that's why I didn't create a temple. That's why I didn't want to take over no Moorish Science Temple. I'm not stepping in dirt. Excuse my candor. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with no semantics. I'm not dealing with no old person talking no whole bunch of old crap. I ain't rocking like that. I create my own with my brothers, and my brothers lead, and we teach, and we give brothers no matter what background they come from, and we build them brothers up. That's what we here too. We ain't putting no limitation on no wisdom. Not if I done went through the fire. Boy, I'm passing out wisdom as long as your mind is right. And whatever you can take as what you can imply and give back to this universe, that's how we build. Let's proceed. That's how we build. The Hearst Smith Revised Status, Chapter 32, and Act Concerning Corporates, right? Section 36. You know, it played a used act, you know? No subordinate temple cannot operate how? If not operate under the Hearst Smith, if they say they're the temples. Revised Status, Chapter 32, Section 36, because there ain't no new temples. Because this act clearly states that, and I quote eloquently with a silver term. Remember, any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in that matter following. And when you read the letter from the CCR, you will understand clearly. And you won't be just listening to nobody because they old. And then say, well, they from the temple. If you're from the temple, you're going to be saying the same thing She Goodman Bay saying. Well, why are you making it up? Why people be mad at somebody? Why we be afraid of asking a person to say, this is what you saying? Well, show me.
Right.
What's wrong with that? That ain't proof. Oh, you can't ask me. Why you can't? You telling me to get to Friday, we got to go through Thursday. Well, shit, I want to wait to see if Thursday come. Yep, you right. Thursday came.
Yep. Sure enough.
I mean, come on now. This is what I be trying to tell brothers. They be like, man, you got to digress. It ain't no new temples. I'm from Flint, Michigan. The temple in my city been there, man. No disrespect to the people. The temple, like I always say, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. You call the temple number in Flint, Michigan, that must have been disconnected for Lord knows when. Like Tupac say, Lord knows, Lord knows, Lord knows, grass be high as hell. You know? Any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the matter following by and electing is crossed out. Electing is crossed out, appointing according to your usages, your customs, at any meeting held for the purpose, two or more trustees, warden, vestrymen, or such officers whose powers and duties are similar to these of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usage and customs, rules, and regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adopt a corporate name, and upon the filing of the affidavit as hereinafter, providing it shall be and remain what? A body politic, a corporate, by name so adopted. Source law, PA 81-1509. You see?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. We can't.
Islam to that, and we, and we also got to do the knowledge to that. As we say, what is the church? And we say, well, what you mean? You are the church. We got to understand too. These Moorish American temples that are not at the operating status that they, of course, should be left by the prophet. We got to understand that we are the temple. It's the same sentiment. What you mean? Well, how do you operate? The prophet left the blueprint, as Sheikh is going over right now. So basically, you're not to. If you say you this, then you just not conducting your life arbitrarily. There's principles, right? Like we live by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You are the temple. So when I see you and you say you represent this, then all of these things you should be living out. All of these things. Why? Because you are the temple. And if the prophet ain't right, the temple ain't right. So that means that what? You not properly aligned with the prophet? Ding. That's what that means. And it's all right. Why? Because you got an opportunity while you still got holy breath to get it right. To get it right. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To get it right.
Yeah.
That's Islam.
And Noble Alonzo, I'll be saying the barbershop talk is cool, but we way beyond that. Because what the thing people like a person saying, well, we should do this, and we say, well, we got that. People say we should have books and we should have our own. We got that. We should have our own clothing. We produce our turbans and regalia. We got that. We should have our own company where we do our anybody need to do it, graph and design it. You do that. We own land. Like when we talk about, we have to understand about our dollars. We have to understand this church aspect, the religious aspect, and what our dollars can do. We missing that aspect. When people say how we're going to build something, we're not begging no one. We pull ourselves with our bootstrap, and that's the aspect people missing. And that's what the prophet did. The prophet, how you think the prophet operated? They operated off donations. I keep telling people the Most Holy Temple of America, they have the tax exempt ID number. I don't know why people be operating if they don't. I'll be like, well, if they say that, they're not from the temple. I show this.
Islam and Sheikh, and like you say too, like they're not reading their Quran. Because honestly and truly, they know that no man is an island unto himself. You know that we bonded by cords that cannot be separated. What you talking about? Well, why are you so isolated?
Mm-hmm.
Why you feel like you got to be a standalone? Why you got to be a paratrooper?
Mm-hmm.
We in this.
Yeah.
We in this.
Yeah. And the brother Kareem Griffin on my YouTube page, he said everything operate on the trust. And I say, well, what have people ever trusted? You know, I always have reason when, you know, because as a teacher, as an educator, I say, okay, well, let's play analogy, because I just don't like to throw things out there. I say, have you ever been in anything that it was disloyalty? Then maybe, because we've been doing this for 5 years. And a lot of times we don't ask the right questions. A lot of times we sit on the line when a lot of teams pass by us, you know?
Man,
You know,
yeah.
when I say we looking at people, we join the page and we don't ask questions. And if a person look at the body of work, you got to know the body of work is real. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, looking at bodies of work and recognizing what's this and what's not, and being attentive and not being a spectator per se, but being a participator. That's what I'm talking about, being involved. I remember, man, when I was going to school and I was young, you know, messing around. My dad was paying for school and I messed up. And he was like, well, you have to start paying for stuff on your own. And when I started paying for it on my own, it meant a little bit more. You know what I mean, Alonzo? Because I stopped playing, you know? And it's the same thing with me, with my wisdom, all the years that I, you know, going to college and going in debt for things and building a whole library, which you brothers have, of wisdom some people never even will have in life. And the amount of wisdom and the dollars it costs. It's a value, you know? And that's what I be telling people, the value of what we have here. But let's proceed. You know, as you see, when you study this Religious Corporation Act, we're going to do a little bit more and we're going to jump to the next subject because we're not going to stay too long. But you can see when you study this Religious Corporation Act and glance at the affidavit of organization, which is the original form, number 1099, you can see how our Prophet Noble Drew Ali followed the substantial form of the revised statute and then expressively organized a ecclesiastical body politic and corporate known as the Moorish Science Temple of America by the name so adopted. And this little piece of pamphlet that we're demonstrating, it ends all the confusion and foolishness of those who say the Prophet did not establish a nation state. And I know a lot of conspirators' hearts are beating rapidly now. So we speed up the pace. Many people might ask, how was this body politic and corporate duly established? And the answer is by filing in the County of Cook Recorder of Deeds Office. Remember I said the CCRD, an affidavit substantially expressed by Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, catch the vernacular, himself being the presiding officer. He sworn that the meeting of the members was held. He stated facts of our power and authority and having sheiks duly appointed, anointed, and consecrated, not elected. We ain't electing no fools just because they old or you were somebody's son or somebody's grandson. So what? This instrument is well known as our authority, but it's really titled Affidavit of Organization. By definition, an organization can include a wide range of entities. Remember, an organization is defined as, I said earlier, corporation, government, governmental subdivision, agency, trust, estate, partnership, association, two or more persons having a joint interest, or any other legal or commercial entity. We go a little bit deeper for the ones that, you know, now we might go a little too far, but we'll play a little bit. Let's go a little deeper. In order to organize as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate at that time, a church, society, or congregation pursuant to the laws of the Heard Smith revised status of the state of Illinois, the affiant had to file, excuse me, in the office of the recorder of deeds an affidavit substantial to the following form. And you, of course, we got the form, the original form with the prophet. Set it up to set the temple up. We don't want nobody to be out here making things up, talking about they studying this and studying that. No, you're not. The revised status, the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, used a substantial draft out the affidavit of organization recorded in the Cook County of Recorder of Deeds office. He swore this affidavit of organization to himself, signing as Noble Drew Ali, but filing as Noble Drew ALLI. So when you understand, he acted as a private person or private Drewicidal in the form of two characters. Understand that, DBA per se. You know, doing business as. What you say, Noble Alonzo?
I said it. That's the only sovereign.
We sticking a fork in them. They're using the wrong science. You see, Alonzo? You see how easy that is when a person hard people. You don't even got to think that hard. But these people hard like Pharaoh. They can't even think that hard. I'm like, man, I'm letting them let them go. He also appointed persons as sheiks. We'll talk about it later. Appointed a corporate name. Many other significant details on the affidavit. The Moorish Temple of America derived its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great prophet Ali in America. It's a very important statement on the affidavit because it shows that we are given a divine mission to propagate the faith of Muhammad in America. This particular Quran of Muhammad, also known as the Holy Quran of Mecca, is divine instruction of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, passed down to all Moorish American children of ages. And I just like to say that. How the hell you studying Moorish science? You don't even have the Moorish Quran. That's something me and Malik was talking about the other day. How you studying Moorish science, Noble Alonzo? You don't even have the Moorish Quran. You don't even have the Silent Brotherhood of the East. You don't have the Quranic study. Catechism to understanding the Quran. You don't even have the Unto Thee I Grant. What's the Unto Thee I Grant? I don't know. You don't have the Brahma text. You don't have the Vetus. You don't know.
No.
You can't know. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Every Muslim is born and not made. Those who love this divine and national movement, founded by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, will take heed to these divine words because they are the spirit of truth within the highest plane of life. This Holy Quran of Mecca, of the Moorish Temple of America, is to teach man how to redeem himself from his sinful ways and bring him back to his original state of consciousness before he lost his vast estate. So if nobles ain't read the Moorish Quran before they start moving, that's why they operating wrong. Because they heart still hard. They be talking about they study in civics. I'm trying to get my bad thing. Oh, what you trying to get? You don't got nothing. Come on now, stop playing. The Holy Quran is the highest authority known to the holy laws amongst the earth because it is based on the essence of divine law given from the prophet through his father, God Allah. This is the holy book where the Moorish Temple of America derived its power and authority from, according to the said affidavit of organization. So when you talk about you studying Moorish science, what? They're going to whip you with our own laws. What? Because it's part of the affidavit of organization. I just told you. They said this is a schoolmaster.
Schoolmaster. No, something just hit me. So we know we operate in the SO and the XO. Right, so with the prophet moving and demonstrating in the SO was what he did in the XO was like analogy, parable, and symbology. Basically saying man is all law. Arm, leg, arm, head. So, boom. In the physical, I'm going by law, set up the temple. Law governs all events.
See?
So what you're seeing in the physical realm is the same as man as law. And he's setting it up, and it's just coming. Oh, my God. Listen, this is powerful. It's powerful in a level if you really see it in the spirit. Because it's just not one thing. With that, I say Islam.
We got to build it up basic, Alonzo. We've been teaching this circuit forever. People ain't jumped on yet. Just like when we talk about trust, like you don't see a clean glass yet. That's why I said if you sinking in the water and God, well, I'm waiting for God, and they send you all these things, and they send you us, and you say, well, I'm waiting, and then God say, why you ain't jump with them brothers? I'm waiting for you. I sent you them brothers. It ain't nothing that stuck out. He ain't give a light bulb to you yet. Nothing stuck out to this person yet. You ain't investigated him yet. You ain't went back and investigated like we say we do, and seeing that this man is a clean glass yet. What we doing? What we doing? What we doing, Lonzo? And he got brothers with him. What we doing? We talk about building. We are the build in the building. We talk about building. Join to it. Somebody can add value to. We add value to. People not catching it, man. We wait for magical signs. We are the signs, like Alonzo said. We are the building. We are the church. Us. It ain't nothing out of us. We the power. Us. The SO and the XO. We right here. Let's do it. And then we can say we did this, or we donated to this and it didn't happen, or they spent this on this. We can have a real example of what happened, what we did. We ain't got to have no negative energy of what nobody did. We don't know. We ain't donated to them. I ain't donated to nobody says we're going to build no school. I ain't donated to nobody say they got some 400 acres and this and that. I ain't donated to that. So I can't say I got. I can't say ain't no trust. I know I did with my brothers here, and I know what we got. I know what we did together with our little crumbs. Because that's all they is to other people to these, what they call them, popular people on the internet. They crumb to all the money they making in they fake rented cars and they Mexican Corvettes. Think I don't know. But learn from these divine instructions of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali on how to conduct your lifestyle in a way that the lower self can be circumscribed and the higher self perfected. There are rules and usages of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and these rules will consist of the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws, the Book of Humanity. They be like, what you mean? You should have it. All my nobles have it. The Holy Quran, Circle 7. Every statement issued by our prophet. You know, it should be honored in spirit along the narrow path that we are to walk, because he is an angel sent to bring us everlasting gospel. A rule, watch this, is established standard. Now we got to have established standard. People ain't operating on no standard, but you say you're teaching more science. It's a guide or regulation, a principle or regulation set up by authority, prescribing or directing action or forbearance as the rules of a legislative body, of a company, court, public office, of the law of ethics. The 5 principles that we stand on is what? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Uphold these principles to the highest of your advantage, because by living by these principles, you are in accordance with the holy and divine laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We do not choose to live by hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, and theft. And now that we know the rules of this state, see, I just gave the rules of this state, y'all. Now we go into the customs and usages. Watch this. Customs and usages are defined as a usage or practice of the people by common acquaintances, and by long and varying habit, has become compulsory and has acquired the force of a law with respect to place or subject matter to which it relates. So the question is, what do members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the BBT have as customs? Okay, very clearly. The customs that we have, we practice these 5 highest principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Moorish American prayer is a custom. We call it our map. At the opening and closing of the Circle 7 meetings, celebrating our prophet birthday, January 8th, Authority Day on July 20th, each year are also customs. Simply wearing your fez or your turban are customs. Brothers be saying they Moors, and they know we provide fezzes and turbans. They ain't got one yet. Why? We provide all this. You know, that's one way we can honor our foremothers and forefathers. Teaching our people, but they not Negro, black, colored folk, Ethiopians. That's uplifting. Understanding who you are. Teaching the right science. You know, I'll give you a little bit more. But when you look back at the definition of a body politic, you recognize that there are important actions that citizens, nationals, and subjects are to make custom with yourself. One action that I speak of is known as covenanting. A covenant of a citizen is an agreement, watch this, or promise of 2 or more parties by deed, in writing, signed, and delivered. Y'all should know that. We already have that. By which either of the parties pledge himself to the other that something is either done or shall be done or shall not be done, or stipulates for the truth of certain facts. See? So as Moorish Americans here in America, Mexico, whatever you want to call it, under the divine leadership of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the words of my mouth, we are to attend to covenants put in place under what? This body politic. This is but one covenant for the unity of the Asiatic race. This covenant is known as what? a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. It's in your Moorish Quran, for real shit, yeah. It's referenced to chapter 25. The holy booklet was divinely prepared by our prophet, and you covenant through the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. You covenant with the whole people, and the whole people covenant with you. The covenant is to make a pledge. A pledge has a broad definition, but the main focus for this is that it is a promise or an agreement by which one binds him or herself to do or forbears him or herself to do or forbear something. The promise or agreements are the conditions of the pledge itself. I hope y'all understood what I said. Watch this. When thinking about the U.S. citizenship, you got to understand why the 14th Amendment citizens pledge allegiance to the flag. Remember that? But unfortunately, U.S. citizens think that being born here, you are a citizen, but it don't. U.S. citizens are naturalized, not nationalized. It's a big difference, but we ain't got to go all in that. A lawfully be a subject or a citizen of any form of a government, depending on the rules and customs for that society under its constitution and government. One must subscribe and take what? An oath to its constitution and government. Which the more simple marker we have. I show this already. I'll be showing everybody this. When people be saying this, I'll be like, that ain't more scientific stuff. I told y'all, I'm gonna always tell y'all the truth. The prophet, what he set up is right. But when people know that people not connected to temples and they can just say, well, all the temples infiltrated, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, by people. But the science ain't you can't infiltrate the wisdom, especially if the guide is right. That guide just have to be a pure heart. This goes for proclaimed Moorish Americans as well, by taking an oath of amnesty and reconstruction of the Emancipation Proclamation, an executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. You are a true American citizen. The oath to be subscribed by a grand sheik, which is an officer lawfully authorized to administer such an oath, and then such oath has to be recorded in the county, just like any organization. If you understand what I'm saying about the power of religious organizations, but people be getting stuff caught up because all treaties been broken, and people be thinking things. I'd be like, dude, you know, people say the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, that's old. I get that, you know, but a lot of treaties have been broken when we don't understand the whole totality of organization and doing things coming through the front door as a group, understanding their religious laws. That's the most powerful thing that people be disconnecting in front. We talk about a body, we talk about a nation. We talk about religious laws will make you exempt from things. This is what people not catching. The Mormon and Amish, I'll be trying to show people this stuff, and they be missing it. They be missing the whole thing. I said, we got to be current. We have to be current with things. The prophet said he's going to use so-called Europeans to show you how to build the government. When he say Europeans, though, I hope people catching things. I use models. I've been in all different academia places, seeing all other groups. We got to be current. It's the religious laws. Understand the organization, how to operate the right way on this earth plane. We're not expatriating from nothing. Brothers be missing the whole totality of organization. Noble Alonzo.
Islam, Sheikh.
Well, they lack accountability. That's why.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. We got to get past all that old stuff. I understand about the peace and treaty friendship. After we talk about that, then what? You know, we can't be dried up, because then when we start talking about things, a person can, then I say what? A person start talking about the council courts. And then I tell you, let's just draw it all up. If a Moor kill a U.S. citizen, or vice versa, if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, that Moor is going to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. Nothing more, nothing less. If you understand who you are. So when people be spewing these things, the first thing you get caught up is looked at is what? A sovereign citizen, the language and the vernacular. And that's what I'm saying. When religious laws, you don't see no Mormon, you don't see no Amish getting in trouble for not standing up. You don't see none of that, because we fighting the wrong fight. You know, that's what I keep trying to tell people. Like we're missing the whole dynamics of this whole thing. When I talk about the religious laws, when I talk about the law of the indigenous people, when I talk about House Joint Resolution 75, you know, the religious rights of the indigenous people, you know, Declaration, you got the right of a nationality. All these, we talk about these current things, you know, that's where we at with things. And we doing it, we laying a foundation. And then when a member of this body politic and corporate takes the oath of amnesty and reconstruction, he becomes part and parcel of the said government and returns back to the family of nations, which is the Asiatic nation. You know, the term said denotes something declared or before mentioned, and someone said operate with your trust. And I'll be telling people, hey, but I ask a person like this when they say these things, but what do you have in your trust to operate with? I ask a lot of people when they say these things, would it be love? And that person, well, I'm gonna set up a trust, and I say, what's in the trust? If it ain't nothing in the trust, I mean, then shit.
An insurance policy?
Hey, yes,
I mean, and I just be keeping it 100, you know, because I get the vernacular, and I don't be coming with no disrespect. I've done this for a long time, and that's what I be telling people. I say, man, I understand it, but when people say operate in the trust, and I say, okay, well, what's in the trust? You know?
Yeah, you asked what's in the trust.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people like, okay, people say they have companies, and like I say, okay, so what's attached to the company? How much assets is attached to the company? Because I know a lot of people that have companies. Then I say, well, okay, well, what's the payroll of the company? Is the company this? Is the company that? You know, is it worth any value? Do it have any liquid attached to it? I don't be here to disrespect no one, but like a lot of people have companies. We got companies. They ain't multimillionaire, but we got companies. If a person say, what's the value of them per se? What we drawing? Not no millions, because we got a whole bunch of nonprofits. I've been doing this stuff for years, but our nonprofits is attached to what? Assets. Our nonprofit is attached to assets. Our nonprofit is attached to real estate. You know, in Arizona, in Michigan, and we're getting ready to get more. Our assets are attached to things. I don't be coming with disrespect. I'm a teacher. So when people be saying things, I say, okay, well, let's see if any value to it. You know, is it operating? Is the nonprofit getting grants and things? Do you have a grant writer? Because about funding, you know, because I know a lot of nonprofits be struggling. How? From funding. If you don't got the right people, this ain't the Sopranos where everybody homeboys making six figures and they hustling and they donating, and that ain't happening. So I know a lot of nonprofits struggling. I'm 48. I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and it's all from love. But we have to have people that know how to do things to bring people together, so we can get out of the barbershop talk and make things happen. That's a conglomerate that's coming together. When we use the right vernacular as a religious community, real, and when you tax exempt from so many things. But that's a whole nother conversation. We almost done with this part, y'all. That's a whole nother conversation, as I'll be telling people, to bring people together from the economics of this. But you have to know how to do business, you know? We have to know. That's what I tell people. We have to learn how to do business. But I don't want to. I'll stop right there on that, man. You know, I don't want to go too far in that. Like I said, I just hope sometimes when we give the wisdom, check us out and see how long we've been doing this. You know.
I hope they picking up what you putting down.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't hear the brother named Khary Griffin. He spelled his name the same way I'm on. I'm on my YouTube channel. His name Khary Griffin. Spell his name the same way I spell mine, Khary. So I know what your name means. You know, you got the same name I do, and I'm older than you. I'm 48. He say he's 33, and with you, I'm right here. You know, yeah, I know that's your real name. I know my real name, Khary too. Khary Adnan Hakeem Goodman Day. That's my real name, Khary Hakeem Goodman from the birth. Yeah, but Islam. But I'm telling people, if brothers here, all y'all got to do is reach out. My mufti's here. We reach out. We real. We get ready to have our 5th annual Moorish Ball out here in Arizona. And work takes real people. It takes real work. It takes people that's willing to learn. It don't take a whole bunch of brothers that want to have a pissing contest with each other. That's why things don't be accomplished. You know, Kadeem. Your name means very powerful, strong. I'll be in LA. I'll be in Vegas. All that. That's why we got to come together. Noble Khary. It's brothers that can reach brothers. Like I always say, one brother reach one brother. That one brother reach two brothers. We can build. Brothers got to be built up the right way, and get off all that bull crap and teach the young brothers how to build. We can't take nothing from brothers if we're not showing how to build. We can build a nation under the religious laws. We can build things the right way. It can be done if we're willing to look at the pattern. It's a blueprint. We don't have to do nothing illegal. I tell everybody, no disrespect, but I use names for speaking points. We got to get all that criminal stuff out of us. That Nipsey Hustle stuff by the block, that's not how this stuff works. Everything is going to get indicted. Everything's going to get audited. When you understand the religious laws, when you do things in a certain matter, you're tax exempt for the federal government. We build infrastructure, you know, especially in our communities. When people talk about land and buy up land, we own land in our temple name. It's our land. We got 10 acres. You know, let's imagine we got brothers donating to the cause and we put our first structure on there and we want to grow our own food and put chickens on there, because you can't have all those different animals in local neighborhoods. You have to have your own land. And that's just a local and state law, you know, and why wouldn't you want to do that? Well, you know, everybody should know me when people talk about trust, like trust, like, man, the trust is there. Like, should we operating how we operating with just us, you know, and what my parents do and what other, you know, certain family members do, you know, and that's why I say this. Imagine if we was operating at how others, and we bring it in and we have check and balances and all that. When you seeing things happening, that's what this is about, especially if brothers working and having money. Listen, I'm gonna end because I'll just give a little introduction of Law Governs All Event, and then we'll end and have a discussion. And if not, we can leave. Anybody that's working and not supporting a religious and charitable contribution of your choice, you're giving all your money away to Uncle Sam. And you're not even understanding how your dollars work for you in your neighborhood if you're under the religious organization that's tax exempt for the federal government. I preach this so much, and all muftis and all ministers, they're tax exempt. Why? Because they have roles in ministry. You know, this is the dynamics when people just give their funds away. And I say, no, you support your religious and charitable contribution of your choice and get a tax exempt receipt and build infrastructure. We have to be educated on these things. Yes, we can get grants and things, but with the funds that we have, small donations is a lot. Just imagine 10,000 people giving $40 a month. That's $4.8 million a year. And that's just small change to some people. That's getting millions. We can do some good. We don't have to beg no one. And so when people talk about coming together, you need the right people. You can't just have these aspirations just because we may watch what's that show, Sean? Criminal Minds, and just because we like that and say we want to be a crime scene investigator and we scared of blood and we don't even like reading and studying. That's not gonna happen. So I just want to share that with brothers and sisters, but we'll give a little intro and we'll wrap it up to Law Governs All Events. You know, high honors to Allah and our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. But there is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. That's in your Moorish Quran, you know. But as Moorish Americans, we are instructed to know thyself and Allah. This is the law, the science of the Moorish science, also known as the knowledge of self, and or the path or the way or life. To accomplish such a lofty idea is to be on the path. And I don't have time to break down the ism and the science of the God of earth, you know, of what man should have. And don't have nothing to be in no criminal. It's have everything with standing upright, you know. You know, that's what this all about. Peace with God, man, nature, your surrounding, for a simplified understanding. A grand sheik, meaning one proficient in degrees of law, to understand the way, so as to forth instruct and be of service to one brothers and sisters and others on the path. Thus said, it is understood. The way is life, and the life is the path of the law. And that's why when I come across Europeans that low level Masons and things, and they say, how can your brothers have anything, a problem with you? Especially if they profess this and profess that. It should be easily recognized. It should be easily recognized. The deeper still being the very law, one comes to manifest. All law is established in truth, which is the holy breath, the Allah, the Allah. Truth is that which changes not. We given wisdom a lot of brothers may never heard of. We give this last tittle. But in the divine instructions for man, it is understood that in all the world, there are two things. The one is truth The other is falsehood. And falsehood is that which seems to be. You know, when I talk about rat poison, everybody, the rat not going to go to it because if it's all poison, it got to be a little bit something in there to attract it. That's how people get caught up in a rapture. Not thinking. When the mind is not trained in a certain way, it's going to get caught up with what? Rat poison. I just told you. Now, truth is ought and has no cause, and yet it is the cause of everything. Falsehood is not, and yet it is manifest of right. Whether it has been made, will be unmade. That which begin must end. That's in your Moorish Quran. So when we talk about commercial law in a nutshell, after reading your Quran, see, watch this, chapter 1, 2, and 3. They totally lost right now, Alonzo, because they ain't trained right. They can't even explain, if you are able to see why the above quote explains the commercial law process. They can't even explain it. They'll be like, what do you mean, Sheikh? I just broke it down. You should be able to break this stuff in your Quran. You should be able to break everything down in your Quran. Everybody, what book should I be reading? Dude, I could burn them up. Your Quran. I could break law, science, everything in your Moorish Quran. That's why I be laughing at these people. They be having a whole bunch of black law term books. So I say, man, clearly you an internet dude. Black laws. I got black law by 34 5. That's how they be sounding. Retired as hell. Man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Man is breath made manifest. So truth and falsehood are conjoined in him. And then they thrive, and naught goes down, and man as truth abides. That's in your Quran. That's in your Quran. It's in chapter 13. You know? No, it's in chapter 7. You know, we talk about public minister, the day star from on high, aka Jesus, the Christ. In the light of the above, the law is the unshakable pillars of truth, dispelling the darkness of falsehood, revealing the light to settle in peace. You see? Laws for civilized governments, their religions, science, philosophy are grown out of this force of nature and its natural development, constituted by a prophet of Allah, once sent to deliver what? The law, and appoint those faithful to the truth, aka trustees, mamuftis, nobles, for the greatest development of his people to their highest potential, which is the nature of his source, that being truth. In essence, all truth and divine laws come from Allah and due to the divine nature of Allah. The laws from Allah to man are to guide, to instruct, to a perfect state of being, or being peace itself. It is the need for civilized man to develop ways and paths to better comprehend true law, or the force, more comprehensively understood the will of Allah, and institute civilizations that harmonize with that will, i.e. the Moorish Science Temple of America, i.e. today, right now, the BBT, the Kingdom of Heaven, a religious body politic, a divine national state. The temple, it was established in 1913, but that's what we are today at the BBT. So I'll give you all chapter 1 and we out of here. The upper echelons, the hierarchical system of the law. In the development of civilization, the will of Allah, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Y'all know it. That's the law. Is the law of laws, the first law. The second expression in the picking order of law is natural law. Natural law is the existence as it is, being what it is, functions as functions according to the laws, which make it what it must and would make it what it is so. So natural law is the giving truth. It is the consistencies that make existence able to be what it is at all. The science of this epistemology, it teaches us that every age there is a milestone in the journey of human race. Catch the science. And these milestones are developed through governments, who? You and I, the people, in harmony with what? The law. So if you're not in harmony with the law, we can't be peaceful with each other. We call these the golden times, the golden ages. We have science, philosophies, medicine, and we apply what? The law to these expressions of civilizations. And we all presuppose in these expressions that we are discovering and learning and being able to apply something that already what? Pre-exists, aka natural law is given truth. You see, you can't go outside of this. So when the law being to emerge in human consciousness, brothers and sisters, through observation and application of natural law, thoughts, thinking, words, deeds, or actions in the natural order of the evolution, you have what is most fundamental of all human law. The most fundamental of all human law is the law of what? Economics, aka commercial law. See, we're going to clue this up for those ones that be talking, they want to get rid of this, well, you're not going to do business. I'm trying to tell you, I'm coming from Adapt wisdom, but they be caught up in whatever. So let them be. Commercial law is the third law. It has to do with human survival, with human interactions, or any kind, or relationship, buying, selling, trading, or relating in any way, which gave rise to the fourth law, aka moral law of the family. Of the family. When I be telling brothers, your last name is your family crest, your coat of arms. You want to get rid of this, rid of that, and you're supposed to annex. Like Alonzo said, what was Noble Drew Ali name? Timothy Drew. Well, okay, so what did he attach? Noble Drew Ali. Did he get rid of his name his mama gave him at birth? No. Oh, okay. Noble Drew Ali. What's his last name? Drew. Oh, okay. Let's proceed. A general rule of right living, especially such a rule or group of rules, conceived as universal and unchanging, and having the sanction of God's will, of conscience, of man's moral nature, of the natural justice as revealed to human reasons. Next one is looked over most in societies when understanding the applications of law. In its root order, it is the law of family, or the law of nations, or the law of one's forefathers. Remember that, the law of one vine and fig tree, which gave rise to nation, state, government, laws to protect the family member against any other nation, people, and other families, and those members. The law of nations, or international law, may be defined as the body of rules, principles, of actions, which are binding upon civilized states in their relation with another. Another way of seeing this is nationality is the order of the day. Think about it. Common law emerged in England around 1100 AD during the dark. Excuse me, let me get some. I smell that perfume. I keep smelling like something sprayed. That's probably me. I should have sprayed that mess. Right. Be quiet, girl. I know every time I turn this way, it's like, whoa. I know. I sprayed too. Leave me alone. From this emerged common law. I gotta smell good, babe. But it's during the reality, it was the Moorish rule in the lands of the so-called Albion, the law. It was revealed until the Renaissance. Remember I told you about different dispensations? You got to research this stuff. But the first we get the 5 echelons hierarchy is the law, or the will of Allah, or the law, the force, natural law, common law, moral law, law of nations. So I'm gonna give you this little science, and we out of here. When you express the adapt Moorish thinker, the 5 hierarchy of the law are in perfect synchronicity with the 5 highest principles of law. We call it jurisprudence. They begin to twist it. What? Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Love equals the will of Allah, or the law of peace. Truth. And when you see the mathematical equations on it, you'll start getting it. I just can't show it. If you had a document, your mind, especially if you're a mathematician, as Noble Alonzo and myself is, you'll be like, oh, you'll be seeing the sign. You'll be like, oh, I'm keeping it from you because when you get, a lot of times you have to visualize, you have to touch it for yourself. Everybody want to explain. That's why a lot of people can't get there. Because I can explain something totally wrong because I know how to do that. I'm not going to do semantics with no one. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Love, will of Allah, the law of fourth, truth, natural law, peace, commercial law, freedom, moral law, justice, the law of the family, nations. 5 highest principles, the source code of law for all civilizations which desire peace can be expressed as a formula, source code formula, and the justice formula. L times T, P, F equals J. In a little circle, C, 7. And brings deeper meaning to He, Allah, has instituted law for the government of the world. It's in your Moorish Quran. I'm telling you, it's in chapter 15. Read it all. I'm telling you. I'll have discussion on this later, y'all. See, people got to be like, man, it's there. I'm in a schoolmaster. I'm not even in deep science. That's why when I be around people, they be like, "She, where they at?" I'm in the Quran. I'm in your Moorish Quran. You can get with the Zulu Nation. You can get any other books. You can get the Brahmin text. He gonna be like, "Damn," but like he using the Moorish Quran. Yeah, I don't need to go outside of it. I told you, people operating totally wrong. Look, commercial law, because of its nature, is the key to unlock the door. And understanding it, application and processes through state and government laws will give the checkmate remedy in law. People like, what? You lost again. Watch this. The principal maximums and precepts of commercial law are external and unchangeable and unchanging. They are expressed in the Quran and the Bible, and it has remained unchanged for thousands of years, and it forms the underlying foundation for all law and governments in the world, the law of nations, and everything that human civilization is built on, but they missing it. Understanding law at this level by the processes. Nothing that is an inferior statute can overturn or change it or abrogate it or meddle with it. It remains the fundamental source of authority and power and fundamental reality. And there are 10 essential maximums of truth or precepts in commercial law. Your sheikh should know this. It's in your Moorish Quran. I'm still in the Moorish Quran. The first of these expressed in your holy Quran, the Moorish Zion temple. It's in there. Cast not an evil eye on the goods of thy brother. Let whatever is his property be of sacred, what? From thy touch. Or the Old Testament of the people of the book in Exodus 20 and 15. Thou shalt not steal, which in terms of commercial law, a workman is worthy of his hire. When people be saying, when all other nationalities like, you don't get donation when you be speaking and all that, why are you still doing that? Just teach us. I can't just teach you. I got to keep going. I must. I hope my people check in because I don't want to be compromised. So I build other things and I say, my people, support us. It should be no problem with that because everything I have to give. Your library would be immaculate. It would be unpregnable. Any piece of wisdom or science, you would be unmatched, unchallenged. And I'm not just saying that because I've been in academia, challenged professors, PhDs. I teach them. I teach lower level Masons. I've gathered and compiled books. A workman is due his hire. The second maximum of commercial law is what? Equality before the law. Or more precise, all are equal under the law. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Remember Charles A. Wiseman. Who is Charles A. Wiseman? I'll teach that later. They teach all that at Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. I've been through the fire, which can be expressed in your Moorish Quran. It's in there. Define him, not in his character. Bear no fault witness against him. Also in Act 3 of our divine creed and our bylaws. Love, true peace, freedom, and justice must be what? Proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Zion Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion because Allah is love. So any more than brought somebody to burn the house, they not teaching more science. How? It's just clearly telling you that. What is the means of commercial law? Being founded on the unchanging principle of the law and natural law is binding on everyone, which naturally creates the moral law enforced by the nation, the family, because it's binding on everyone's family and no one can escape it. Remember? I can go through all of the maxims. The third one in commerce, truth is sovereign. Remember? Truth is sovereign. The law of the force. We can see this maximum and other maximum expressed in our map. What's our map? Our Moorish American prayer. That's why it's so powerful. What? Allah is what? The father of the universe, the highest sovereign authority. I just told him, but you a Freemason. You talk about you some widow's son. Dater. We stepped on your neck, but never mind. The father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The source code of the law for the government of the world. Law of the family. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation by night and by day. All are equal under the law through his what? Workman, the holy prophet. The divine and national principles of the nation state by the founder is the map is also an affidavit. I broke that down earlier. And the sovereign tells the truth. Your word is your bond, aka covenant. My word is my bond, is my covenant. That's why I said I can walk on any place and be unmolested. Am I a traveler to the east? Boy, I'm a traveler to north, south, east, and west. What are you talking about? I keep telling people that. Well, I'll tell you, I'm 99 degrees, ancient right of Memphis and Mizraim. I keep telling people, I ain't took no oath. Am I initiated? Hell yeah. I tell you that 100 times. How can I confer degrees if I ain't under no particular wisdom? What are you talking about? Smart people be losing it when one is lost outside of his vine and fig tree. Truth is not sovereign in commerce. Commerce meaning essentially every human action and interrelationship. And when the will of Allah is not sovereign, there would be no basis for anything. I hope people caught it. No basis for law, order, no basis for accountability. There would be no standard, no capacity to resolve anything, because it means what? Anything goes. What? I found it. Anarchy. We don't rock like that. We ain't no cavemen. Each man for himself, and nothing matters. Debates down to survival of the fittest. Money becomes one God. So in commerce, what? Truth is sovereign. You got to be rocking with what I'm saying. Listen, I'll give y'all what it's what we've been going an hour. This is my last one. I got to get out of here. The fourth one. We'll proceed another day. Truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit. So in commerce, an affidavit must coexist and underlay and form the foundation and responsibility. When people talk about they doing business, like Malik said, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you hustling. You're not doing no business because this particular rules when you're doing business, you hustling. Keep it 100. And responsibility for any commercial transaction whatsoever. There can be no valid commercial transaction without someone taking the risk and putting his commercial honor on the line and stated that this is true and correct. In certain situations, when one issues an affidavit, you have engaged a two-edged sword. It cuts both ways. This affidavit may be a claim or a bill that you send to someone in due form, and it must say that they owe you some money or something. Someone has got to take responsibility for saying it. In fact, that is a real situation. And this, and this why it is a real situation. So in commerce, if someone sends you a bill or assessment or something of this kind, they have what? They tabulated the goods or services that you have provided for you with the amount of each in a booking ledger. Watch this. They total it at the bottom. And this is the total amount you owe. This called a true bill in commerce, unless there is a commercial affidavit. That is proper commercial paperwork with somebody taking responsibility. There is no valid commercial transaction. People just be making stuff up. I said, dude, you can't arbitrarily explain the law. You don't win a contract, talk about you finna cancel corporate. No, you ain't. Did you read the contract? Yeah. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You lying. And you're getting on the internet playing a deadly game with everybody else. Because everybody else, no disrespect, is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's just the fact. No disrespect. That you got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. No disrespect. If I'm breaking this down, this is a schoolmaster. This is too simple. You got to be cuckoo out your rabbit mind. You got to be. When you issue an affidavit in commerce, you get the power of an affidavit. You also incur what? Liability. Because there has to be what? A real situation. Other people might be adversely affected by it. What? When you lie to people, when other people take it, like I said, you can't say brainwash. If you taking some fake stuff, you get off the internet and say, oh, they got some magic land and they got some never after farms, and it's on the pretense of all lie, that's fraud. If the whole pretense is all lie and fraud, just like Bernie Madoff, which people ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff, because Bernie Madoff ain't dealing with a whole bunch of poor people. These people not even smart. They may depend on it and go out to start factory, other things. But it's so much. I want to stop right there because, like I said, it's so much. And I just want to give them an introduction. I'll stop right there. Any questions? I'll stop right there. I'll tell you, a lot of brothers are just, I don't know. It ain't nothing I can say. We kept it plain as we could. We give brothers manuals. Brothers say we should do this, we should do that, and I say, well, we're doing it. I mean, it's just like when you invest in a person said, we can do this and do that. Then look at the body of work. We doing something. So that means we already got stake invested. Just like when I say, when they say Sheik wrote these books, Sheik ain't collect no money from nobody to write no books. What he did, he said, man, I know how to do this. I did this in academia. When I was getting my dual master's degree, all my dissertation papers, Noble Alonzo, we had to turn it into the system called Turn It In. When you turn it into that system, they keep your work. They keep your work that you study forever and use it for references. They make money off this. This is what one of my dissertations, oral dissertations, Malik, I had their ass mad as hell. I told them, I said, I know what's going on. I said, this is the black hand. I said, so I can't use none of my papers no more. The university on all my work. All my work. So I said, no. I said, I ain't writing no. I said, I ain't doing nothing else no more. I'm going to gather my own work and put it on gather myself. I'm going to create our own page to sell our own items. I'm not going to let Amazon tell me how much I can make off my books. I'm not going to sell my rights to my books where they can take it off the shelf and keep it and give me some change. That's why I tell people what they should study. We got the manuals. We done broke it down. I done broke manuscripts down to break it easy. As no one should be operating in the wrong manifestation. No one. And we an open book right here. So all we asking brothers and sisters to support, you know, and build and come from out the sewer like Ninja Turtles, you know. That's what I tell people and study. Especially if brothers don't have the Moorish Quran, I please challenge brothers to read the Moorish Quran first before you move anyway. Because if a brother say they have more and you never read the Moorish Quran and you jumped into somebody talk about they teaching you civics or how to get this or how to overthrow the government and all this stuff, some that we see why you're not right. If a person spewing a whole bunch of old law that in 1836, when the pilgrims walked the earth with the gingerbread man, we had this treaty. I ain't talk about that. And we ain't talk about nothing that's been abolished and all that. We get all that. We get that. And that's what I tell people. Yes, I get that. I get all that. Now what we're going to do with the resources that we have, we wasting with the people that we have, what can we do? We can model what's already been done. What? I just been giving people blueprint. Now we just need the people. We don't need to be dealing with people out here acting a damn fool. We don't need to do that. We need to make no grandstand. It's already done. If we do things the right way. So I give people gratitude and honor for taking their time, for listening to me for an hour and 35 minutes. You know, like I said, it's a new day. So if anybody got any questions or anything they want to add, your brother done. And thank you, man, for your time again.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, there.
Yep. You just muted yourself again.
Oh yeah, I did because there's a lot of background noise back here. That's all.
Yep. Well, gratitude, everybody, man. Hope everybody have a good day.
Gratitude, Sheik. Peace and love. High honor.
Islam,
As
just want to say
always.
gratitude, peace, and love for everybody here. I mean, what you're speaking is not really new to us. I know it's new to a lot of people, but it's just good for the reiteration and to continue to educate in that circle type form. So we keep coming around again. But this much gratitude, Sheik.
You know it. And people ask questions. Don't be out here operating on false pretense. We are open book right here. We want brothers to come in. We want brothers with skills. So once again, peace and love, man. I love all y'all. Can somebody give us our prayer, benediction, and we out of here?
Islam, Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Alakim, Ayash Ayah, Hotep, Islam, Amen. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Islam. May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that morphs need not to pick the locks of the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft, For behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad. And at the BBT, when we say Al-Haq, that's Arabic and it stands for the truth. And when we say Ya Muhammad, that's also Arabic and it stands for the protector. We at the BBT see ourselves as truth protectors. And we casting our net out to all true and divine light seekers to come and join on to us. For the truth is one. For the truth has no sides. For the truth is one. As man is with Allah. And with that, we say peace and love. Islam.
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 Wow.
Peace.
Peace.
Take us out, B. I'm a truth seeking, knowledge seeking.
So speaking.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at theherbsofmayat.com. Mayat Sons, tea of teas, divinely prepared. Also, be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by BH Hicks at bhbaymusic.com. And for your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
Yay, yay.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
Run that back, man, please, one more time. Please. Please. Can you run that back for your...
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
Let's go, man. Come on, man.
Peace and love. Peace and
Let's
love.
go. Let's go. Let's